Assassin's Creed. Now, this video was requested by TTSK Revelation, I believe, who asked me to make a video giving my opinion and thoughts on Assassin's Creed. So here I am doing that. Now, let's get into it. So I think Assassin's Creed is actually a really, really, really good franchise. Now, most people are going to be like, make attempts on my life for saying that because they're all COD fans. But people who play COD and nothing else are not gamers, and we know that. And Assassin's Creed is a game that has twisted the minds of many with its gripping story that has no end to the twists, and it's quite confusing from the start. But I was 8 when I started playing this, wait, 9, maybe 10. I can't remember. And I played it from Assassin's Creed 1, and I knew the entire thing. The story was just so simple to follow. Of course, it's in Assassin's Creed 2, it's made a lot clearer, and there's Brotherhood more so, and then Revelations, you're just like, what the holy hell's happened? Because at the end, there's something happens, and you don't want to know what, because that would spoil it for you guys. So it's a spoiler-free video, so you guys don't have to mind that. Now, as it goes through, the story has become a lot easier to remember, but it is still the same thing. It's Assassin's Creed. How can you remember the story to that? Well, that's the thing. You play it from the first game and through to the 4th, and then you play the new ones that are coming out this year, which is Rogue and Unity, or R even. Not is. Grammar error there, but you know, swag. So, my thoughts on the game when I first played it were, oh my god, this is the best, exciting, new idea I have played in a game. Given that at that time I preferred to play games like Spyro, Crash Bandicoot, and fouling people on FIFA 04, that means a lot, because those games were basically the base of anyone's childhood, really. Crash Bandicoot, Spyro, games like that. And then Assassin's Creed came along. Before Assassin's Creed, I don't really know what I was playing. I think I was playing, I don't know what I was playing before Assassin's Creed, but it wasn't as fun as this. However, since I've started getting into Assassin's Creed, I've begun to love the franchise because it is so damn good and nobody seems to know about it. And that's the problem. People should know about Assassin's Creed because it has so many signature moves that people think about, but they don't think about where it comes from. For example, the leap of faith. People like diving off things saying, let's take a leap of faith, which didn't come from Assassin's Creed originally, but Assassin's Creed seems to have executed what that would look like with survival into a haystack better than anything else ever would, because first of all, it's not real, and second of all, it's probably not possible either. If you've seen how fast a leap of faith is in Assassin's Creed 1, you probably think, how is he not effectively paced before he gets halfway down that tower? Well, the answer is, screw it, he's an assassin. And I kind of respect that, because assassins are like gods, aren't they? Because Altair just runs around like an imbecile with his mouth on fire and something. He goes around at the start of it like an arrogant fool, and I can imagine that, actually. Altair does kind of strike me as one of those arrogant people who just want to die. But since he just kills people and misses his attack with the blade, yet still blood spews everywhere, as seen just there, I assume that that must be perfect. Altair is the bomb, as we know. I should write a novel on this, but you know, who cares? Nobody wants to read a novel, because novels suck. Assassin's Creed is basically based on the fight between assassins and Templars, and this is basically a secret crusade. In the Crusades, it started in the Crusades, and it went to Italian Renaissance, then it went to Roma, to the reign of the Borgia, and then it went to Constantinople in the something. The blah, 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 Turkish stuff, and then it went on to the American Revolution, and now piracy, roughly the same time, for about 100 years apart, less than 60, 50, but who cares anyway? It's Assassin's Creed. You can do anything on a ship. Now we've got North American, again, the 7 Years' War with Assassin's Creed Rogue, and the French Revolution coming with Assassin's Creed Unity, which are both very, 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 very good places and ideas and things and stuff like that. Anyway, I don't know what I'm actually talking about right now. I'm just giving my thoughts on Assassin's Creed because I was told that would be a very good idea, and since I had 10 minutes to kill, roughly, from here on in, I thought maybe I'd just talk some crap with you guys about it. So, I'm going to criticise one of my favourite franchises because it's repetitive in some ways. I mean, it is quite exciting and gripping, but Assassin's Creed 1 was very repetitive. Assassin's Creed 2 I found was quite repetitive. The story was amazing though, so that rendered it as my favourite Assassin's Creed game and favourite game of all time. Whoops, I was supposed to answer that in my Q&A twice! But oh, they have it early, but I'll answer that anyway in the Q&A. Assassin's Creed Brotherhood and Revelations branch out a bit with the missions, but they are fairly repetitive too. Assassin's Creed 3, that's fairly repetitive. 4's fairly repetitive. Every Assassin's Creed seems to share the same thing in common. They're all repetitive, but they're all good. Now, my thoughts on characters that people have criticised, like Connor, for example, they say Connor is bad. Now, I disagree. I think Connor's a great character, but the problem is he had no humour, so nobody liked him. Connor was a hated boy. Nobody liked him. Yeah, I know. What are you gonna do? Make an attempt on my life that I said Connor was at least a mediocre character? He might have had no sense of humour, but remember, he's psychologically scarred for life from seeing his mother burn alive, then having to kill his own father. Like, oh, spoilers, shit. But anyway, you've probably all played Assassin's Creed anyway if you're watching this, so who cares? If you're not, then you are sad, and you should go and play Assassin's Creed. I'm joking, of course, but still, play Assassin's Creed, then you'll understand more of what I'm on about. Assassin's Creed is basically what I would call a franchise that started off being an idea and just became it's basically a Square One franchise. What am I about? It's basically a franchise that was made from scratch. It's like an idea. They added parkour, combat, both very, very interesting and very key to the game's success. The combat was piss easy. That's one of the reasons why it was so successful. And the parkour was just so entertaining, and jumping on rooftops is fun. Of course, the combat in the first 4 Assassin's Creed games, in the major part of the franchise, were of course were very slow, slightly irritating, not very many moves, and of course it wasn't very real. But in Assassin's Creed 3 and 4, they kind of branched out with that, and the combat became faster paced, stronger, easier, and basically it just became so much more interesting. In Assassin's Creed Revelations and Brotherhood, the combat was fairly fast as well, but the parkour was still the same as it was in the first 2 games, which was fairly slow and bulky. Assassin's Creed 3 and 4 again improved on that by adding in a new engine for the parkour, which made everything faster. And as you can appreciate that, for the people who made it, they still didn't make a franchise the way it should be. But the thing is, now with Assassin's Creed Unity, by that I mean they wanted to make everything look like Unity. And Unity, in my opinion, the parkour looks a bit blocky at times, and the combat looks worse. So I think Assassin's Creed 3 and 4 had the best engine in the franchise. They had the best combat engine. Sorry about that, I was just listening to see if I could hear this thing. But, you know, damn, no you can't. No you can't, I'm fat. I'm a fish. But anyway. Sadly, there isn't any Assassin's Creed 4 footage on here because my AC4 is on Xbox 360. My Xbox 360 is broken. Sorry about that, but, you know, you'll have to deal with it. Who cares? Ouch, my face. But anyway. Assassin's Creed is a very strong franchise because the story is just so gripping. Even Assassin's Creed 3 had a great story. Assassin's Creed Revelations was good. I don't think any of the Assassin's Creeds have stood out as terrible. Assassin's Creed 3 was good. Assassin's Creed 2 was amazing. Assassin's Creed 1 was amazing. Assassin's Creed Brotherhood was amazing. Revelations was good. Black Flag was great. The best of them all, story being Revelations, the best so far for gameplay being Black Flag, in my opinion. And now Unity comes along and it looks like it's going to be the worst for gameplay completely, but the story does look quite promising. Then there's Rogue, which the story looks even better for, because in all honesty, people who started saying they were hyped for Unity are probably edging towards Rogue looking better, even though they're more excited for Unity. But Rogue does kind of look a stronger game because it's on a better, well, it's on a better looking, more polished, less glitchy engine. And the faces in that game don't look like they've spent 5 hours in a spray tan machine. Now, this video was requested by TTSK Revelation, who's a massive Assassin's Creed fan. So I recommend you, if you like Assassin's Creed, go check him out. That would be amazing. I will probably leave a link in the description. If there's not a link in the description, just put TTSK_Revelation or something like that. I don't know what it is, but I think it's something like that. But anyway, moving on. Assassin's Creed 3, it had a good story and a bad character. Assassin's Creed 4 had a great character and a bad story. Do we see what conflicts here? You can't have a good character and a good story. Well, that's where it goes wrong. Assassin's Creed Brotherhood 2 and Revelations, sorry I said them in the wrong order, it's 2 Brotherhood Revelations, that amazing character, amazing story. The only downfall to those Assassin's Creed games was the really irritating platforming moments that they had, where you had to like jump across things before the timer, timed out. That's what irritated me. It was just a timer. That was all. That was all that irritated me. I swear. I swear on it. Please don't hurt me, Junior. Sorry about that. I get a bit excited. But anyway. Assassin's Creed 2 was by far my favourite Assassin's Creed, not because of the gameplay or the parkour or anything, but the story was just so gripping. And it is also arguably the poorest as far as graphics go, but I do not mind that. I've always thought Assassin's Creed 1 had better graphics than Assassin's Creed 2 until it came to looking at faces. But they both had fairly poor faces. But who cares? It's Assassin's Creed. We don't need faces because we're going to mess them up 2 minutes later anyway. Make it seconds for a seasoned assassin. However, gameplay and graphics aside, Assassin's Creed 2 is, of course, a good game because of its story, how it seems to make sense. Well, as if you played Assassin's Creed 1 and understand who the hell Desmond is. You're playing as Desmond in present day, hint hint. And what you're supposed to be doing. It takes that, and then you know exactly what you're supposed to be doing. You can get on with it, and you go into every mission with anticipating it to be good. Now, my problem with Assassin's Creed 2 is, in fact, the gameplay. The parkour is a bit irritating. So you land on people and accidentally punch them, but that can be expected of a game that's about what? 5 years old. Happy birthday, Ezio. 28th of June, I believe. Oh wait, hang on, that's not 28th of June, it's 20... Blah, 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 blah. I don't know when it is. Ezio, when's your birthday? 22nd of June or something. It's June sometime. And then right, Ezio. But anyway. Ezio's a great character, and he was by far the strongest character in the Assassin's Creed franchise so far. And everyone loved him. I don't know anyone who hated Ezio. I know a lot of people who hated Connor, a lot of people who hated Edward, a lot of people who liked Altair as well. But Altair was like Ezio in very many ways, and Edward was like Ezio in very many ways. The only difference between Altair and Ezio was Altair was more of an arrogant kind of person in the start of his Assassin's Creed 1. Ezio was more of the cocky joker. But Altair didn't make very many jokes, but he was still very lovable because his story was like Connor's, just better executed. He had lost so much at a young age and had to earn his right to continue and stuff. Well, what am I on about? He had to fight to get justice. That's what I'm trying to say. Now, on an overall level, I think Assassin's Creed as a franchise is one of the best franchises going for gaming on gaming on the last gen so far and PC. And Assassin's Creed Unity looks like it's going to be quite a good game in the franchise, but I haven't got as many hopes that it's going to be. I don't think it's going to be as good as Assassin's Creed 2, because Assassin's Creed 2 was by far the best Assassin's Creed ever, and I don't know if I want a game to be better than that, but I wouldn't mind it. But I think overall, Ezio is the best character in Assassin's Creed, and Assassin's Creed is fun. Assassin's Creed is really fun because the idea is new, and with new ideas comes a lot of fun. So therefore, that's all I have to say about Assassin's Creed. That's my thoughts on it. I have been talking non-stop for the past quarter of an hour. It's harder than it looks. So thanks for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed. Please like, subscribe, share, comment, and I'll see you in the next one. See ya!